All right, so welcome to the answer key or the video key for the quiz for lessons 1 through 7. This is for lessons 1 through 7 in Unit 4. So Unit 4, lessons 1 through 7, okay? All right, so the first one, if you take a look, we have a set of data, and whenever we're looking to plug in data, we're going to hit Stat. Option number 1 is Edit, and we're going to put our numbers there under L1. Okay, through the magic of video, I've already plugged them in. And so now, since we're looking for our 5-number summary or something to do with it, we'll hit Stat. We can go over to Calc to the right, hit 1var Stats, and then you hit, there's no frequency list, so we don't need to put anything there. And you can just hit Calculate, and it'll give you answers, okay? So if we take a look, the first thing that it is asking us for, let's take a look and see, is the median. Okay, so let's look over here. So our median, MED, is 13. So we literally just write the median is equal to 13. Okay, all right. Then it says the min and the max values. That's also given to us in our calculator. So our min is 11 and our max is 17. So our min value is 11 and our max value is 17. Okay, and just to show some work, you could say stat calc 1var stats. That's all you need to write for that, okay? 1var stats. All right, then it tells you the lower quartile and the upper quartile, which is great. We could just like verify it. So our lower quartile is 12.5, which is correct, and our upper quartile is 15. Okay, and they tell us to draw the box and whisker plot to represent the data. Okay, so just like we went through in class, so we have to count in order. So we're going to go from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That is our highest number right there. And then we could do our 5-number summary, to use the 5-number summary to go ahead and draw our box and whisker, okay? So our minimum is 11. So I'm going to put a whisker at 11. I'm going to put a maximum whisker at 17. Okay, boom. And then we have our lower quartile, which is 12.5. So we're going to go to 12.5 about, and that's where our box is going to go ahead and get started. And the upper quartile is 15. So this is 16, this is 15. So this is where our box is going to be ending. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put our median, which is at 13. So this is 12, this is 13 right here. So our median is going to be right there. Okay, then we just connect our whiskers and we're done. All right, so that's our full 6 points for this question. All right. For the next one, we have a question that has a table. And the first thing that they're asking us is the variable W discrete or continuous? So W, you can take a look, is weight in grams, okay? So our weight on the produce, the packets of dried fruit, does not have to be whole numbers, right? Our weight can be like 27.3. So since we know that it can be a decimal or a fraction, we are going to write that it's continuous. Okay, it doesn't have to only be a whole number or a counting number. All right. Then on Monday, she checked 150 packets and produced the following table. Find the value of S. Okay, so we know that the total number is 150. So we just need to figure out what the S is. So pretty straightforward, right? We take all these numbers, add them up, and then see what the S is subtracted from 150. So we're going to do 4 plus the 58 plus the 44 plus the 11 plus the 2. And that has to give us 150 altogether. So the value of S is going to equal 31. Okay. So again, you're just adding these numbers up and subtract that from 150. All right. All right, the next one says complete the mid-interval values. So we want to find what numbers are right between 27 and 30. So you might be able to do that pretty easily for some of you, but for others of you, you might have a hard time. So just find the average, right? You could do 27 plus 30 divided by 2, and you're going to get 28.5. Do the same thing for each of the other ones. So this is going to be 31.5. The next one right here is going to be 34.5. the one under 44 is going to be 37.5. There is a little bit of a pattern here, right? And then we have 40.5. Keep on adding 3, right? That's our pattern. And this is going to be 43.5. And the reason why that happens is because our interval has to be consistent, right? The same number of numbers that we are passing through. All right. So we did part B1, part B2, and now we're going to do part B3, right? Then it says find an estimate for the mean value of W. So the estimate for the mean value of W is we're going to take all the weights and find an average of them, right? So we're just going to find, what do I mean by that? I'm going to take a look at the numbers that we just wrote right here, right? And we're going to find the mean of it. So you can add them up and divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can plug this into the L1 and then use the 1-bar stats. And either way you do it, you get that the mean value is 35.2. 35.2. And then let's put our units here. So that's going to be 35.2 grams. Okay. Forgive my handwriting on this. It's kind of atrocious, but you'll get the point. All right. Next thing it tells us is we're going to write down the median weight. So now they're giving us the box and whisker plot, and we have to find the median, right? So the median is, remember, the number that's right here, right? So the box, the line that is in the middle of that, or is somewhere in between, is going to be 35. So the median is 35 grams. Okay. That's just literally just writing it down. That's only 1 point. Okay. Then it says 75%, and that's Q3, of the packets weigh less, supposed to be weigh, not weight, weigh less than A grams. So we want to find out what that is. Okay, so that's the 75th percentile, which is the same thing as our Q3. So we want to find out what is our Q3. And so if I take a look over here, right, our Q3, why did I just go over? If I go straight down here, right, our Q3 looks like it's 37. So I can literally just write, okay, so 37 is going to be the value of A, because it's the same thing as our Q3, okay? So this is A. All right. Let me make that a little bit clearer. A equals 37 grams. All right, cool. Now it says find the interquartile range. So we're going to do Q3 minus Q1, right? So we just found Q3 is 37. So we're going to do 37 minus, what is our Q1? That looks like it's 34, right? Because Q1 is right here. So this is 1 below 35, which is 34. And that means that our interquartile range is 3 grams. All right. Cooking with the gas. Monday afternoon, Annabelle made another measurement of 42, right? So we want to figure out, show that this measurement is an outlier. Okay, so 42 is on the higher range, or the higher thing, right? So 42 is somewhere like right about here. So we want to show that it's an outlier. So how do you show that something is an outlier? So we're just going to use the upper quartile, right? So the upper outlier, and the formula for that is Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. So we already know our Q3. We figured that out. That was already 37. So 37 plus 1.5 times our IQR, and our IQR is 3. So take this, plug this into the calculator, and you're going to get 41.5. So what does that mean, right? So that means that any value, right, over the 41.5 grams is considered an outlier, right? So 42, you could just say like 42 is greater than 41.5. So it's an outlier, right? So boom. Pretty straightforward. Done with that part. All right. Question number 3. So the question number 3 is a cumulative frequency diagram. So we're going to look for the median. So the way we do that is we're going to label again, right? So this right here, this point is 100%. That is at 80. So we're going to go halfway of 80, which is right here. This is 50%. So that is our median. Okay. And look, it's asking us to find the median length, which is good because that is pretty straightforward. So all we have to do for the median length is we're going to go ahead and find out what number. Why did that just jump like that? We're going to go across, right? And since it's the median length, I have to go down. You with me? So I'm going to try my best to go straight down on this. Okay. And so the median is going to be about, so this is 3.5, around 3.6 is going to be our median length. So 3.6, if you have like 3.5 or 3.6, that's fine. So about 3.6 centimeters is going to be our median length. Centimeters. Okay. Now it's asking us to write down the value of Q. So we know that looking at Q, right? It's going to be where 0 to 4 is. Do you see this? This is where Q is. And so all we have to do for that is look where 4 is, right? So find 4. Let me just go ahead and change the color real quick. So we're going to find 4 and go straight up from that, right? And then we're going to look and see. We're not done yet. We have to keep on going, right? And see what number does this match with. So 45 is like right here. So I'd say that if I go across, it's a little bit more than 45. That's about 47. So Q is going to equal 47. About, right? 46, 48, somewhere around there. Okay. So we know that the total frequency, right, that 100% is equal to 80, right? That's our total. So we want to find what P is, right? We're looking for this number right here, okay? So the whole thing is 80. So if I do 80 minus that 47 that we just found out, right? 80 minus 47 is equal, and then we have to take that number and subtract the 26, right? Because all of these, if I take these and add them up, that's going to equal 80. So we already found out that this is 47. So 47 plus 26 plus P is equal to 80. So all we have to do is just take 80 minus 47 minus 26, and that gives us the value of P. And P is equal to 7 when we do that. Okay. All right. Hopefully these are straightforward for us. Okay. Number 4. So now we have another reason to use stat. So I'm going to go ahead and preload this, and we're back. All right. So we're going to go to our stat. Same thing as last time. Hit edit, put the numbers in. Okay. Since we're looking for the R, we have to go to mode. Let's not forget to do this part. Go up, otherwise it's not going to show us our R value. Go to the stat diagnostics, and let's go ahead and turn that on. Okay. And then you could just quit. So second mode. And then you hit stat again, go over to calc. And option number 4 is linreg, linear regression. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Hit enter, and then you just hit enter a bunch of times. And we are looking for the R value, and R is about 0.941. Okay, so R is about 0.941. And again, we're going to go 3 numbers. Okay, it's called significant figures. And so now let's see what the comment of this is, right? It says comment of the result. So since this is close to 1, we can conclude that there's going to be a strong positive linear relationship between the distance from Gippsland and the milk price. Okay, so there is a strong positive linear, right, relationship between, I'd use BTW, the distance from Gippsland and milk price. That's horrible writing, but you get the point. All right. Moving on. So now it says find the value of M and comment on its meaning. So find the value of M and comment on its meaning. So it says in y equals mx plus b, right? So we can do that, right? Didn't the calculator give us that? So the calculator gave us y equals, and we're going to go like this, right? So y equals, and we have 0 0.03. We can say that that is what? 85. Yep. 85x, and then we have plus, and again, we're going to go 3 numbers in. So 2.159 is about 2.16. 2.16. So find the value of m. So m is 0.0385, and we're going to comment on its meaning, right? So that means that the cost of the milk is going to increase by about, so 0.0385 is about 4. So the cost of milk is going to increase by about 4 cents for every additional, and this is what? Yeah. So this is every additional kilometers in hundreds, right? So every additional, for every additional 100 kilometers distance from Gippsland, okay? Because that is what our x value is. All right. Then it says find the value of c. So we already just found that, right? C is about 2.16. And so we're going to go ahead, and it says, and interpret its meaning if possible. So if appropriate, right? If not appropriate, explain why. So 2.16, that's our y-intercept, right? It's where it crosses that's at 0, right? So where x is 0, that's the number, right? So it's appropriate to interpret this meaning as a distance of as x equals 0, right? That implies that the cost of milk at Gippsland, the cost of milk at Gippsland is about 2.16, and what is our unit? AUD, right? Australian AUD per, and what is that? 2-liter bottle? Yes. So, right, this is 2-liter bottle, so per 2-liter bottle. So now do you see, I'm not just writing c equals 216, right? I'm using the definitions of what each of these variables mean to help me figure out this answer. All right. Last thing is an extra credit question. So this is like very similar to what we did before. So we have to find our median again. Okay, usually this is the case. So 60 is our 100%. First thing we're going to do, half of 60 is 30. So this is our 50%. That is our median, or our Q2. So let's see if we can go across from this and go about down. Okay, we can see automatically right now that that is about 7. So our median is about 7, and what is our units? Hours. Okay. And it says give your answers to the nearest hour. Boom, done. All right. In the upper quartile, the interquartile range, we're going to find Q1 and our Q3. So it says the maximum number is spent by students is 14. Blah, 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 blah. So the upper quartile, they're already giving us, right? They're giving us Q3 is equal to 10.1. So we have to do IQR. IQR is equal to Q3 minus Q1. So we already know that this is going to be 10.1 minus. And now we just need to find our Q1. Okay. So our Q1 is going to be half of the 50%. So half of 30 is going to be 15. So this is our Q1, right? And this is 25% of the data. So let's see what number this is, right? We're going to keep going until we get here. This is a little bit before, you can see this. This is a little bit before 5, right? So let's say this is like maybe about 4.8. So minus about 4.8. Why am I putting it there? So minus 4.8. And so this is about 5.3. right? 5.3 is going to be our interquartile range. All right, part C. So now we have our 5-number summary, right? We have the minimum is 0. We have the maximum is 14. So we could draw our box and whisker plot. So from 0 to 14, right? We're going to draw our, here's 0. The maximum is going to be 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, let me make that a little bit ahead. So this is going to be 14. And we're going to draw our scale. Okay. All right. So now from that, we're going to put our minimum point. Let's go ahead and change the color so maybe you could see it a little bit better. Our minimum is going to be 0. Our maximum is going to be 14. So that's our whiskers. Our Q1 is going to be right at about 4.8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Right before that is going to be where our box starts, right? And we're going to go until 10.1. So 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. So about 10.1. Going to be somewhere around there. You just count that 13, 12, 11, 10. Okay, boom. Good. And our median is 7, right? So this would be easier if I labeled it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at 7, there is going to be our middle of our box, right? Something like that. Okay. Then we connect it, and we have our box and whisker plot. Alrighty. So 60 students were sampled, chosen randomly from Diploma Year 1, and 30 students from Diploma Program Year 2. Okay, so as soon as we see 2 different categories, both Year 1 and Year 2 had the same number of students, write down the sampling method used. This is called a stratified sampling method. And I think of stratified as like if you had like a rock and there are like striations along it, right? Like little lines. So it's kind of like, okay, whoever your population is, you're splitting them up into different categories. So you have a striated or stratified sampling. All right, done. That is it. Thank you for coming. Enjoy. 22 minutes, not too bad.